Before I get started, I do consulting on where you can move. I'll work with you to find the perfect place for you to move to. There's more information at the end of the video about that. Now let's get started. Everybody wants to move to Phoenix. It's official. It's the fastest growing major metro in the country. No other major population center in the US grew as fast as the Valley of the Sun. There's 1.6 million people here now, so Phoenix has passed Philadelphia to become our nation's 5th biggest city. They got to be doing something right? Well, not necessarily. LA, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, and San Antonio are also huge sprawling cities, and they all suck. Phoenix happens to be the flavor of the year right now. That's all. Maybe people just need to hear the truth about this place before it's too late. Is Phoenix a soulless, sun-scorched landscape of urban sprawl? Is it hot and ugly and full of discrimination? Maybe. But on the bright side, there's plenty of strip malls and entry-level jobs, everyone. Here are just 10 reasons why Phoenix sucks and why you should never move there. For a long time, Phoenix was really affordable, and it was a great choice for people who wanted to be somewhere warm and inexpensive. It was kind of an under-the-radar place for families seeking change, especially for people on the East Coast. Not anymore, pal. Not anymore. Look at how the home prices have skyrocketed in the last year alone. 30% in the last year. What the hell? The average home in Phoenix is now $360K. It'll probably be $400,000 in the next year. You missed the boat. The prices are being driven up by people from Southern California who are cashing out, by wealthy tech people who can work from home, and by retirees from the Northeast. The number of available homes here are like half what they should be. Bidding wars are happening here more than just about anywhere else. The average crummy home like this gets 5 offers, usually about 10 grand over the asking price, and typically all cash. Sellers are happy. Homes here only take 23 days to close. But if you're thinking of moving here, you should probably have a lot of cash saved, and you might have to even forego an inspection. Phoenix is now as expensive as Salt Lake City and Colorado Springs. There's other costs too. Pools cost a lot of money. You don't have to have a pool, but you'll want one. Your kids will definitely want one. So tack on an extra $30K for a house with a pool. Don't forget about that. Or you can build one for $40,000. Plus, expect to pay about $2,000 a year for pool maintenance. I mean, if you're going to move to Phoenix, you got to live like a Phoenixian, right? Air conditioning costs a lot too, so your electric bill is going to be about $4,000 or $5,000 a year. Or maybe you just want to rent here? Well, that's not pretty either. Monthly rent just went up 20% since last year here, which is the biggest rental price increase in the country. In just July, Phoenix's rent went up 3.4%. In 1 month, people. The cost of rent in Phoenix is now at the US average. It was never that way before, and it's just gonna get worse. But despite the huge spike in prices, people keep on coming. It's like follow the leader or something. It's the fastest growing big city in the country right now, even faster than Salt Lake City and Boise and Nashville and Austin. Maricopa County is just all the rage. More than 200 people move to Phoenix every single day. Where are they gonna put everybody? Further and further out into the desert sprawl, that's where. There's people everywhere, and the line coming in is longer than anywhere else in the nation. 1/4 of all newly minted Phoenix residents come from California, many from the Los Angeles area. They asked people from California if they wanted to move away, and they were like, yes, and 2/3 said Arizona was in the cards. People can work from home now, and it doesn't snow here, so you get people coming from the cold states too. Traffic isn't bad here, but it's getting worse, and the public transportation isn't keeping up. They have a trolley system and a light rail that works if it happens to be convenient for your particular route. But let's face it, who wants to stand around in 120-degree heat and wait for a damn train? And you can't realistically bicycle around here for 7 months a year either. Aw, look at him go. He's never gonna catch him. We know that. What's ironic about Phoenix is that people say they want to move here to be outdoors, but they hardly ever go out into nature. Phoenix is surrounded by one big inhospitable, forbidding, and uninviting desert. There are some mountains nearby, but they're more like desert buttes than anything else. It's hard to find any large shady areas that aren't packed with people. Sure, you can drive up into areas where the landscape and scenery changes, but that's not going to happen very often once you get here. Come on now. Remember as a kid when you wished it was just one long, endless summer? Not here, you won't. There's no real change in seasons here. Seasons are almost summer, summer, monsoons, haboobs, summer just passed, and a brief period of really nice before it's almost summer again. The dust storms are a bitch to clean up after, by the way. It doesn't rain here very much except for monsoon season, but that hardly comes anymore. It rains so little here that people can remember where they were the last time it rained. And while your friends back home will be all giggly when leaves start falling, you won't be able to tell it's fall except for when the pumpkins are set out on the porches. There'll be no white Christmas here, pal. You can decorate your cactus if you want. That's always kind of clever, not really unique. Instead of bundling up next to a fire on the holidays, you're going to be walking around in shorts. But old people love it because they're old and they're sick of shoveling snow. Spring? There's no real spring here, except when it's almost 100 degrees. That's springtime here, pal. There's not a lot of flowers blooming or leaves coming back. It's just, oh my gosh, it's 100 degrees. Must be spring. And that brings us to summer. Want to drive your car with oven mitts on? Want to burn yourself on a seatbelt? Want to hide inside for 5 months a year? Because you're going to have to do that here. The sidewalks are too hot to walk on. It's so hot, parking lots melt. If you don't find shade, your dashboard will look like this after a while. People actually get into fist fights over shady parking spaces like they do in the Northeast over shoveled spots. For many months, you can't walk your dog. Since you probably won't have any grass in your yard, this is how your dog's going to have to poop for half the year. Your AC is going to go out eventually, and that's a fortune, and the wait to get it fixed is forever. Your skin will get all leathery, and you're going to have to worry about skin cancer. The air is hot and smoggy and dusty and filled with weed smoke. One day, this place is going to run out of water. The Colorado's drying up, and so are Lake Mead and Lake Powell and all the underground wells. There's water rationing because a lot of water is being sold to California and Mexico, and it's just getting hotter here. Currently, Phoenix has about 55 days a year when the temperature is above 110. With climate change, there's speculation that Phoenix will see 100-degree days every month, except for January, February, and March. One author speculates one day in the future, people are going to flee Phoenix, and that all that'll be left will be shriveled relics of golf courses and the dusty holes of swimming pools. That's some real hyperbole.
Did you know in the future, scientists think Phoenix will be 130 degrees in the summer?
What? 130 degrees, Mappy? That would make Phoenix inhospitable. Like this. Burn, baby, burn. I actually wrote a song about how hot it is here, Mappy. Take a listen. Arizona, it's like a damn oven. Summer is a terrible time. Oh, Arizona. You're not listening. There's not enough shade. Here it feels like the sun is 10 feet away. Beige, 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 light beige, dark beige, different beige, not really different beige, yellowish beige, tan beige, brown beige. Neighborhood after neighborhood, Phoenix all looks the same. At first glance, it appears as if the same developer built every neighborhood. That's because they did. You get a choice of 5 different homes here. There's no lot sizes to choose from. There's no colonial or cottages or Greek revival or Victorian or craftsman. It's all whatever you call this. Phoenix contemporary, maybe? Every house is Southwestern Mission terracotta clay tile roof adobe looking. Most homes have rock front yards and cactuses. It's pretty easy to get lost if you go down the wrong street because it's like this for miles and miles. You won't have to mow your yard, but you're probably going to miss squishing your piggies in a nice fresh cut lawn, right? Where are you going to play your outdoor games? Where are your kids going to play? And where will your dog poop? In rocks? Hey, you little Mappy, get this thing out of here. And it doesn't just look so blah and bland in the neighborhoods. Even the retail locations around town look the same. Just big beige shopping centers with rocks and little available shade to park under. A lot of people complain that the Phoenix Metro is a dry, dusty desert. It's endless flat highways, parking lots, billboards, strip malls, and fast food joints. It's very commercialized and generic looking. There's no real charm here. A lot of people scurry around from their air-conditioned house to their air-conditioned car to the air-conditioned office to the air-conditioned supermarket and then home again. There's very little in walking distance here, and biking somewhere is out of the question for a lot of the year. Move here and your life will eventually revolve around a 10 to 15 mile radius from your home, and that is just sad. You might wave to your neighbor as the garage door is closing. A lot of people say they moved to Phoenix because of the weather and the outdoors, and then they hardly spend any time in it. Downtown Phoenix is pretty boring. It's more of a business district than anything else. They're working on it, but in many parts of Phoenix, if you want wholesome entertainment or nightlife, you have to get out of Phoenix and head for Glendale or Scottsdale. There's bad Chinese food and tons of Mexican food, but international culture is also hard to find outside of some Native American jewelry outlets. There's just not a lot of cultural diversity, and Phoenix doesn't really have much of a historical significance. Phoenix is one of only a few large metro areas without a major theme park, and there aren't a lot of community events that'll make you feel like you're part of something either. And that brings us to the people. Phoenix is just a bunch of transplants. Really, it's very rare if you moved here that you'd meet an actual Phoenix native. There's no real common sense of Phoenix pride. There's no Phoenix bond. And the residents here are described as being distant. There's no warmth here, except for the air. One longtime Phoenix resident described Phoenix people as rude, flaky, obnoxious, aggressive, uneducated, unsophisticated, meth addicted, rednecky, racist, and xenophobic. Hey, that's mean. Somebody else said the people in Phoenix are self-centered, they lack respect, and are self-entitled. Hey, that's mean too. One other person said people in Phoenix seem to be angry and hateful and look like they're medicated or on drugs. What the hell? You probably won't really talk to your neighbors much because it's too damn hot, and you probably wouldn't have much in common with them anyways. A lot of the people you'll meet on the street are likely going to ask you for change for cigarettes. Drivers are high or drunk, and they're in a hurry because, remember, it's hot out. And there seems to be a whole anti-diversity tension in the air here. They passed SB 1070, which made it allow that anybody with brown skin had to have their alien paperwork on them at all times. People thought that was discriminatory. They tried to pass SB 1062, which many thought was an anti-gay bill. It's just not a very friendly place. You want friendly, right? What about crime? You want somewhere safe, right? Well, Phoenix isn't the worst place for crime, but it's not safe either, and it's getting worse. Being next door to Mexico doesn't help with keeping crime numbers low. There's illegal immigrants all over the place, and gangs are a big problem. Weed is legal, so lots of people are driving around high. If you're lucky, the guy next door will be high on weed and not high on meth or heroin, because opioid overdose deaths are up 70% in Phoenix in the last decade. Homeless people are spilling in greater numbers. People here complain that Phoenix has become a dumping ground for homeless people from other states like California and Oregon. There's so many homeless people in Phoenix right now, they're turning away 500 people a month who need shelter. Of course, many are strung out, alcoholics, or mentally unstable, or all three, and all the homeless people here have made crime even worse. Phoenix ranks towards the top with a number of identity thefts, and you may not be aware, but Phoenix is the kidnapping capital of the country. Only Mexico City has more kidnappings in the world? What the hell's going on in Phoenix? And because Phoenix is out west, there's still an old west mentality here. There's people walking around with guns all over the place because of the loose gun laws. This is actually probably a good thing because it keeps criminals in check. But is that guy with the sidearm on his hip at Circle K drunk or high? I can't tell. And what about the animals? Are you a nature lover? Do you love scorpions in your bed? How about going out into the yard and seeing rattlesnakes, tarantulas, other deadly spiders, bats, roof rats, coyotes looking to eat your dog, mountain lions, termites, or even javelinas that attack people? Ah! If the heat, the crazy druggies, the crazy drivers, or skin cancer doesn't bring you close to death, climbing into bed to find a scorpion under your pillow might just do the trick. Well, that's it. A bunch of reasons why Phoenix sucks and why you shouldn't move there. Convinced? No? Well, how about a poll which indicated that 3 out of 5 people who moved to Phoenix are thinking about leaving Phoenix? It might sound like a place that's warm and cheap and an alternative to the hellhole you currently live in. But if you want a charming place that's clean, where you can have lots of space, or a place that's safe, where there's a sense of community, this isn't it, pal. The rest of the country's problems have arrived at Phoenix's doorstep. It's no longer an affordable oasis. It's now just a large, sprawling metro area, just like everywhere else in the country. Except everywhere else isn't 120 degrees. How can it be so hot, be so hot, be so hot, be so hot? Can it burn a lot, burn me a lot, burn me a lot, burn me a lot? Arizona, it's like a damn oven. Summer is a terrible time. Oh, Arizona, there's not enough shade. Here it feels like the sun is 10 feet away. You step outside and it's like walking right into hell. I can't leave the house because my tires are melted. 103 at night? What the? Is EG's open? I could just bathe in an EG's right now. My pool isn't cool. My shoes are all goo. How can it be so hot, be so hot, be so hot, be so hot? Can it burn a lot, burn me a lot, burn me a lot, burn me a lot? Arizona, I feel like the devil. The summer is a terrible time. Oh, Arizona, I wish it would rain more. It feels like the sun is 10 feet away. Ouch! Hey guys, so if anything I just talked about upset you or made you sad or mad, well then do something about it. Call your local leaders and demand change. Chip in and help those in need. Make your community better, because communities don't get better without hard work and determination. America's a great place. It just needs some more love and pride.
This is Sage, Nick's manager. This has been a Corner House Entertainment production.
And are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. You can get my email in the description to find out how I can help you find your perfect relocation.